We're on a roll. I'm telling you, I can go down so many rabbit holes when talking about the consciousness. You have your consciousness and you have your subconsciousness. There's just so many different factors that play a part. And I'm going to dig a little deeper in it because I know exactly it's such a big part of all of this right now. But anyways, all right, this is going to be my last video because I got to work today and I got so much I got to do. Identity. These are things that truly did help me. Consciousness includes your sense of, who am I? Who are you? You have to figure that out. You're going to have the entire world tell you who you are and who you need to be. But that's the world, right? That's your family, that's your friends, that's your, businesses, your career fields that you're in. They're going to tell you who you need to be, but you got to figure out who you are, right? What do you believe? What do you believe? You got to figure out what you believe, what you stand on, what kind of faith you carry, who is your God, right? These are all things you got to figure out. You're going to have the whole world tell you what you need to believe, but you figure out what has happened to me, right? We all have a story to tell. There's been, everybody on this earth that walks among us has a story to tell, and things have happened to you. The good, the bad, and the ugly, every single one of us. So what has happened to you? You got to walk through it. You got to walk through things that have happened to you that are good, bad, and ugly to heal through it, feel through your emotions through it, right? You can't just keep bottling it up and pushing it aside because why? Well, it takes you away from your consciousness, essentially, your higher self. Why? Because you haven't healed through it, right? And so you're holding on to these emotions, you're holding on to these feelings, you're holding on to these thoughts, you're holding on to these memories, and you haven't felt through them. And so with that, you're kind of preventing yourself from growing, right? And in that, a lot of the times when people don't feel through what type of things have happened to them, and I'm sure the victims in whatever facet, whether the Epstein, the wrongdoing in this, just across the masses, all the child trafficking, everything, right? There's millions and thousands of victims. Unfortunately, we live in a world now where there's victims and there's never justice, right? But in order to feel through what has happened to you, you got to feel through it. Otherwise, it's going to prevent you from moving forward past it. It's going to prevent you from growing from it. It's going to prevent you from getting the wisdom and the knowledge and the fortitude and the perseverance that you are going to get when you feel through it. As well as you're going to be bitter. You're going to be angry. You're going to move in jealousy. You're going to move in vengefulness because you're going to be upset based off what happened to you because you ain't worked through it. Right? And we have to learn sometimes in the most egregious things happen to you that are completely inhumane, that don't make any sense. But at the end of the day, if you always carry the mindset that things are happening for you and not to you, it will help you overcome a lot of these things. We live in an effed up world, and we have for a while, right? We live in a world with a lot of broken people. We live in a world where money consumes the people, the masses. Power consumes the masses. Status quo consumes the masses. Followings, numbers, monetization consume people, right? And so when you live in a world where these things consume them, unfortunately, that's where their mindset goes. That's what they focus on, right? They're not focusing on bettering themselves in reference to healing and pouring out better into this world. No, they're pushing that to the side to where they can stay on the full front of whatever it is they're focused on. What you put your focus on is where your intentions go. Like, you have free will in that. And if you're one of those people where you want the numbers, you want the monetization, you want the power, you want the greed, you want, the status quo, if those are all important to you, well, there's going to be different things that come from the operating factor of that, right? You're going to lose sight of your human connection. You're going to lose sight of human decency. You're going to lose sight of honorability. You're going to lose sight of wisdom and knowledge because you're too focused on status quo, right? And with status quo, with money, power, and greed, there's a different type of knowledge and wisdom, and you can see that. right? For example, I thought it was funny. Ian said, like the attorney with that one guy, the one, whatever his name is, that's the owner of Abercrombie and Fitch, Victoria's Secret. He went in for a deposition, and the attorney said something like, if you say another word, they are going to kill you, right? In the midst of that, right? It's like one of those things where you just had a moment of glance, like, right? That's just the power that they hold. And so you have to understand that there's all kinds of different factors in this. You know, there's a lot of victims that have passed away because they came out and started telling their story, right? And for me, I just always land on my consciousness because it's what saves me. It saves me every day from falling into the hole of what they're pushing out in front of us, right? Like, I see so many people I follow, and it's just like, okay, whatever floats your tushy, right? And it's one of those things, like, you can't worry about other people and their walk and their path and what they stand on and what kind of conscious level they choose to walk in. Like, you can't worry about that. You have no control of that. None. We're never going to understand why people can be a part of such egregious organizations and egregious activities when it comes to harming children. The investigation of Charlie Kirk. I mean, just so much just so many targeted individuals out here walking through different experiences, and you're never going to understand why people would do such things. So you have to quit trying to understand and feel through how it's making you feel. Because when you start feeling through how it's making you feel, then you can start reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your personal growth, reflecting on your moral reasoning. Once you grab hold of your moral reasoning in reference to what's right and what's wrong, right? That's gonna be what saves you right now. It just is. It just is, because there's so many factors, so many pieces, so many people, so many agencies, so many paid actors. I mean, just look at the whole Truman Show scenario. We're all living in a Truman Show. Some more than others, right? But we're all pretty much living through the same thing right now. And so it's one of those things, but I'm loving what I'm seeing, like Tucker Carlson, everything he's unraveling in reference to Israel. Old Bibi. I'll never understand in the wildest how you can be a part so close to God's land and somehow, some way in your mind think that it is okay to completely obliterate women, children, and men for land. Because I can tell you right now, everything they've been telling you in reference to Gaza and Iran is all lies. And so when you open your eyes and recognize that we now live in a world where Israel, right, Jerusalem, right, and just the spirit and what that carries and what is happening over there based off Pharisees in control. And you can't tell me we aren't rewriting what happened in the Bible. Oh, I hear you. There's zero, like, nobody can have an art, they can't. Nowhere does taking human life on the masses like this every 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and have these wars. It's just no. I mean, if you look back at all our wars, what did we actually win from them? What do we gain? I know the American people are here hurting. I know all the soldiers that lost their lives, the loved ones, all those that were hurt, right? I know that happened. I'm trying to figure out what else.